Hey guys, this is God of Politics, and welcome back to a brand new video. And we finally have the first results from Iowa. The first results from Iowa have come with 62% of the vote reporting after almost a day of nothing. They had some issue with the votes and everything, but now we have 62% of the votes reporting from all 99 counties. And we have Pete Buttigieg in the lead with 26.9% of the vote, Bernie with 25.1% of the vote, Warren with 18.3% of the vote, Biden with 15.6% of the vote, and Amy Klobuchar with 12.6% of the vote. And I'll be the first one to admit this to you. I was wrong. I believe that Amy Klobuchar would not be able to do this well. She wouldn't be able to be viable in enough precincts to get this many votes, 13% of the state delegate equivalents, but she did do well. Um, she has gotten 13% here, and if you add that to Joe Biden's support, like I predicted would happen for most of her support, she would have been viable in a couple precincts, but I believe most of her support would have gone to Joe Biden. That would have pushed Joe Biden over the top. But that did not happen, and I was wrong. I predicted the wrong thing because I believe that this is completely disastrous for Biden. If we go down to the map here, you can see Biden is winning in 6 precincts, and most of these precincts are pretty small, and he's not winning by very large margins. Anyway, the largest precinct, he's only winning by 4% over the person that's winning right now, Pete Buttigieg. But as you can see right here, Pete Buttigieg did really well. He had a good campaign strategy of being able to, as it says here, these preliminary results suggest the Buttigieg strategy of doing a ton of events in rural areas, especially in Obama Trump counties, paid off. He won in a lot of rural, he ran and won in a lot of rural counties that went from Obama to Trump. And that's been very successful for him. I think that Bernie does still have a lot of precincts reporting that are going to be needing to report soon. I don't know when that's going to be. Could be a couple days from now. Hopefully it's soonish. But you can see in Polk County here, the largest county, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is the largest county. Bernie is currently winning by 2%. He might be able to get closer to Buttigieg here, or Buttigieg could pull away with the amount of rural counties he has. You can also see that Amy Klobuchar did pretty well. She went above what everybody thought she would. If we're looking at the actual popular vote results here, actually we can probably look at it from down here. The first vote, we can see Sanders is winning by around just over 3% here. He's winning in the popular vote, the first vote. And the final vote, where they had to move in if they were not viable, we can see Bernie is still winning, but only by 1.2%. And then for the state delegate equivalents, Pete Buttigieg takes the lead. I think there's about a 2.1% difference between the final vote and the state delegate equivalents. What we can see here is Pete Buttigieg won across the board. He did well in all of the counties that he needed to. You can see Bernie is doing well in the popular vote because in places like Des Moines, he turned out a lot of new voters that maybe hadn't voted before, and they won those by larger margins. But Pete Buttigieg won across the board. Now you see Biden here, he loses 1.4% of his vote going from the first vote to the final vote, and that's because in many precincts he was not viable. I think if we go up here, I think it was Story County where Biden was just not viable at all. I think there was the whole thing with Cory Booker, people voting for Cory Booker and everything, which was kind of weird. But Biden lost a lot of support from them. He went from 16,000 to 14,000 and went back up in the state delegate equivalents, but still, he is not doing very well. This is a disastrous result for Biden, as pretty much everyone is saying. I don't think this is the end of Biden's campaign, obviously. I think Iowa means less now than it does before. I think caucuses are basically dead now. Iowa is not going to be going first again, in my opinion. It's a 95% white state, and then you've got people who are not representative of people in Iowa who are not representative of the rest of the country nowadays. I don't believe that they should be going first, and I don't believe that they will be going first in the next election, 2024 or 2028, the next competitive one for the Democrats, depending on who wins the general election in November. But going candidate by candidate, Buttigieg obviously excelled, did better than most polls showed him at. Most polls showed him at, I think the average on RCP was about 17%. Sanders did about as well as the poll said he would. Warren did a bit better than the poll said she would. They were at about 14 to 15%. She did about 18%. Biden has, as I said before, just done disastrously, only at 15%, 16% in the state delegate equivalents. He had, many polls had him at around 24%, I think. I think the average might have been 21, but yeah, he just did not do very well at all. But Klobuchar did better than everybody thought he would, and that's part of the reason why I think Biden didn't do very well. Many of the Biden supporters aren't very enthusiastic necessarily about the candidate, about Joe Biden, because he's just so old and everything. But I think Biden still can win, obviously. I think at this point it's going to be a two-way race between Bernie and Pete, assuming the results stay similar to this in New Hampshire, because Bernie is still winning in New Hampshire, but I think that Pete might get a bit of a boost by Iowa, although I think the boost will be less now than it ever has been before since 1972 when the Iowa Caucus first was introduced as being the first state. I think Biden still will win Nevada purely because of the fact that the person close to him in Nevada was Bernie, and Bernie in this situation right now with 62% of the vote reporting is not winning Iowa. It's Pete who isn't doing very well at all in Nevada. Um, and I think Biden will also, obviously, I think it's all but certain for him to win South Carolina at this point, unless Steyer can get a lot of the votes to take away from Biden that could give Bernie a boost. But Biden still can win. Obviously, he'll have to win those last two of the first four states, Nevada and South Carolina, and then do well enough on Super Tuesday, not let Bloomberg get a lot of support. And another question is, will Bernie be happy? Will Bernie and the Bernie Bros be happy with second place? They did as well as people said he would do, but he's not in first place. I think a lot of the Bernie Bros will point to the fact that he's winning the popular vote currently, but not in the state delegate equivalents. And Pete is, I think, more than likely going to go on to win the Iowa caucuses here. It's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out. I'm not sure when the new results are going to come in. You see a lot of the counties here still have precincts reporting. Biden, I think, will only go down at this point. The only 6 places he's winning in, he's not winning by very much. They're very small counties. Pete's winning across the board, and Bernie's winning in a lot of the big places. So I think that it'll become a two-way race between them in terms of as the votes are being counted, I guess later tonight or in the next couple of days in Iowa. I think maybe the lead will get a bit larger than this, maybe stay around the same. Elizabeth Warren did okay, actually. I think she did better than people thought she would. I don't think she's going to crash out just yet. Maybe when it gets to Nevada and South Carolina she will, or when she doesn't do well on Super Tuesday. But I think for now, Elizabeth Warren will stay in this race. I think she's doing all right. Amy Klobuchar will stay in too because she did better. There's a thing today about Pete saying that he won, which obviously he hadn't yet, but now it looks like he is going to win. I think Bernie's campaign team sent out an email saying Bernie was going to win, but I think looking at this right now, Pete is going to win. I can't say that with all certainty. I think Bernie still has a good chance to win. I think Warren will do better maybe when the final alignment votes come in. More of the final alignment votes come in. I don't know when the rest of the votes are going to come in. 62% reporting. I don't know how accurate all of these results are, how much each is reporting, all the precincts and everything, how accurate these all are going to be. But yeah, these are the results we have now. I will update you as soon as we get more, which could be later tonight or could be 3-4 days from now. So I really do not know. I just think this is a disaster for Iowa. I don't think they'll be going first ever again at this point. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. As I just said, I'll keep updating you on how things are going as they continue to unfold. We got New Hampshire coming up a week from now, 8 days from now. Then we've got Nevada on the 22nd, after New Hampshire on the 12th, and then we've got South Carolina on the 29th, and we got Super Tuesday on the 3rd. So it's a busy time for the Democratic primary. This is going to get real interesting real quick, and I think we might even see a brokered convention. You heard it here first. All right. Thanks all for watching this video. Please like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys later.